Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Matt Pfeiffer. I'm the founder and CEO of Supplier Community, and we are here this afternoon for another go at Fast Pitch. I'm delighted to have my friend, Josh Bruns here. I've known Josh for a long, long time. He's got a long career in CPG, worked with some of the biggest names in CPG in terms of being global suppliers to Walmart. So we're delighted to have Josh here today to talk about Genesis and the tools that they've got. So Josh, thank you so much for making this time. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Awesome. Matt, thank you. I can't tell you how much I appreciate your hard work on this and bringing us together. This is really great. And can't wait to share this with everybody. And if you have questions, there is that chat bar. Put it in there and let me know. Matt's going to help me filter in those questions, and I'm happy to answer anything. And also, please follow up with me. Like Matt said, I've been in this industry for over 15 years and just have gotten to work with some of the greatest companies from an agency side with like Saatchi and Saatchi X and Geometry Global to working with the partners like P&G and Kimberly-Clark, to the supplier side, doing e-commerce and shopper marketing for Coleman and Rawlings and Pure Fishing. And then most recently, before I joined Genesis, I was at Kraft Heinz, and I was leading their shopper marketing for the Walmart team. So just really gotten a chance to connect with a lot of wonderful people, Matt being one of those, and would love to share, even if it's outside of what I do currently, would love to talk shopper marketing with anyone. So you'll, by the end of this, you'll have my contact information. Please feel free at any time to contact me. I'm happy just to chat. And so throw that out there to start with. I do tell you a little bit of my background for a reason also. What I've been able to do is, as I've gone throughout my career, is just really understand some of those business problems that you guys are all facing. And so I'm there with you. I've been there, I've done that. And what it's also allowed me to do is I've had a passion toward finding vendors who have capabilities that might be unique, might be special, might solve a business problem in a better way. And then test those vendors and really pressure test them to see, are they driving sales lift results for me? Are they doing what I need them to do? And so I've been able to do that, and I've had a real passion behind that for my career. Well, as I was at Kraft Heinz, I got to working with this company called Genesis. And so I was doing the same thing to them that I did with everyone else. I was looking into their business model, looking into their capabilities, understanding what they do, and understanding the end results I was getting. And I kept getting great results with them. I was going, man, there's something different about them. Why am I getting such great results? I dug into the math behind it, dug into the capabilities and whys and everything, and started to uncover, oh, there's a different proposition here that I haven't seen anywhere. And that's what was so intriguing. Couple that with some of the core values that they have, which are innovation, integrity, and service. And I was like, there is something super special. And in fact, I thought it was so special. I had no intentions of leaving Kraft Heinz for a long time. I loved what it did, and I loved being on the supplier side. But I found something so unique in what Genesis was doing that I was like, I've got to be a part of this. So I actually picked up the phone and called the CEO and asked for a job. So that's a background to how I got to where I am with them. But it's real important because when I'm telling you these things and I'm sharing with you what we do, it's not just from I'm a salesperson trying to tell you something that's great. It's from I've actually used this company on the other side of the fence and liked them so much that I wanted to be a part of it. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of reassurance into what we're doing. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and we're going to go through what we do. And so give me a second here, and please somebody pipe in if for some reason this doesn't come up well, and I will make some adjustments, but hopefully this will come up well for you. Matt, can you whoops, well, that's not working yet. I've already had some technical difficulties here. Let's try that one more time. And
there you go. That looks
tell
great.
me what are we seeing now? Should we see Genesis? Is that what everybody's seeing?
Yeah, I see your title slide, and then I see the other slide previews underneath.
Oh, you see that? Oh no, well, that's no good. Let me back that out because there's no reason to see all the preview stuff. 1 second. I'll just do it a different way. Forgive me, everyone. This will just take 1 second and we'll be ready to go. So Matt, you really are going to have to give me prompts
Yeah,
here
yeah,
because I won't be
no
able to see
problem,
the.
no problem.
I even tested this too. That's what's sad about it. Okay,
That's good.
now it's just Genesis, right?
That's correct.
All right, good. Okay, so when we start talking about digital media, there is what I like to call a digital media paradox. And so there's this what works and what doesn't. For most media companies, you go, oh, this is awesome. You have great performance because and when I say performance, impressions and things, because you can hyper target and get a lot for your money. Where it lacks and where we tend to see a problem is in the aspect of you can't tell much of a story from a banner ad. Think of a banner ad. You've got, 5 words that you're communicating and a product shot and a call to action link. There's not much of a story that you can tell. As well, how do you know that someone is really engaging with that story? Even boosted social, you really don't know if they're actually engaging with it. There are things like viewability, that just says, hey, it's on your screen. There's things like cost per click, which says they've clicked on it. But here's the thing with cost per click. 50 to 60% of all clicks are actually unintentional. So you may have heard it called a fat finger. So you're scrolling through on your mobile device and oops, I didn't mean to do that. And I just went somewhere I didn't want to go. So 50 to 60% of those are unintentional. So where's your reassurance that the shopper is actually getting to the content and understanding the message you're trying to deliver to them? That's the problem. And that's where Genesis created digital media solutions and innovations that solve really key business problems for suppliers and agencies. So how do we do that? Well, we hyper target, we still do hyper target those relevant audiences. And then we lead them to a storytelling or an immersive action where they can really dive into the story that you want to tell. But what's most important about that is it's a guarantee for engagement. So meaning you pay only when people actually engage in the content that you want them to engage in. So I'll get into that a little bit more, but the result of all that is you have a highly engaged shopper that's delivered at a significant value versus other programmatic or boosted social, and drives incrementality for you. And so a lot of our clients are continue to come back because they see the same results that I did. And so our first innovation, and I'm actually going to show you 3 core innovations that we have. Atlas is one, Impulse is the other, and Expo is the third. So I'm going to start with Atlas because honestly, when you understand Atlas, there's a core that you'll see that threads throughout all of these innovations. And again, it was what I was talking about the hyper targeting, guaranteeing that they engage type platforms. So Atlas is all about delivering consumer engagement and then guaranteeing that. So it's an immersive app-like experience, but you don't have to download an app. And most of our clients, and where I advise to use Atlas, is really about that pre-shop moment. So out of the store, you're trying to engage and drive awareness of maybe a new product or a low velocity item, or you want to inspire some kind of multi-item or regimen solution. Or if you're working through e-commerce or specifically with online pickup and delivery, or pickup today, whatever kind of platform for whatever retailer, and it's retailer agnostic. We can direct to any retailer that you want and target those people. Then it helps to drive those velocities as well and do it at a value. And so I'm going to show you the flow of this, and then I'm going to give you some actual examples. So first of all, we take and hyper target an audience with programmatic banner ads that are hyper targeted right to the right people, and they're branded. So you can see here's an example of one. So it would show up in this case. This is for Healthy Choice salad dressings. Let's say you were on a blog about healthy eating, or you were looking on some kind of app that you frequent, but you're typically somebody who's searching for healthy eating. It's going to show up in those locations. When you click on that banner ad, it directs you into our Atlas experience. And once you're on our Atlas experience, there are certain things that you have to do for you to be able for it to count as an activation. Because again, I said we guarantee shopper engagement. So right now, I'm going to give everybody some links so that they can actually see it and play with it themselves. So if you have your mobile device, grab it, open up a new text message, and in the to field where you type somebody's telephone number, type the number 31279. And then in the message field, I'm going to give you a couple keywords to type. So the first keyword to type is my name, Josh. So type Josh and hit send. And then the next keyword is Josh with the number 2 right next to it. All one word, Josh 2. And that's the number 2. And hit send. And then do that again, but hit Josh 3 and hit send. So you should have, for each of those, received a bounce back. And it'll have some, first of all, my contact info. So now you have it. If you need it or want to call me or set up additional time, happy to do that. Secondarily is some links. And then the next 2 bounce backs will also have links. So I want you to look at the one that says Apples, and there'll be 3 links on there. Click on the top one, and it should open to something that looks just like this. Now, I want you to just take that and play with it for a sec. Scroll and look through, and then you can go back to your text and click on the others and swipe through that are under that app list title. And what you're going to see is it's very intuitive and app-like, because you do just like you would for an app. You're with your finger, you're swiping, you're scrolling, and then you're clicking call to action buttons and things like that. Now, the way we charge that makes us so much different is we don't charge for these impressions. We only charge when somebody activates or engages with the Apple's experience. And that means that somebody has to swipe through, swipe up or swipe across, whatever, swipe through at least 3 of the cards, or they need to click that big shop now, buy now, save, whatever it is, call to action on the bottom. And so what that does is it ensures that the people who have landed on Apples are a relevant shopper. They really did intend to get there. Because if they just get on it and then click out, well, that means that they weren't interested in your product. And so we don't charge for that. We only charge when they've done that 3 swipes or click the call to action. And it also ensures that there's no fraud, because if you've heard of bots can't go in and do that kind of activity on our platform. And so where I spoke to you guys earlier about value, this is where it really comes in. So for one, it's a highly engaged shopper. It's a relevant shopper who has been targeted, who kind of raises their hand and says, I'm really interested in this, because they're looking through it. But they are clicking through at such a high rate that your effective cost per intentional click is much better than, say, even traditional programmatic or boosted social, which are only telling a partial story. And so we're telling the full robust story and clicking through at a better rate. So our click-through rates from Apples to the final destination, in this case, which was the Walmart OPD page, we could have had this branded Kroger and gone to the Kroger's e-com or pickup page, or it could have been Publix or any retailer. And we can hyper-target those audiences and do the same thing. But we are clicking through from Apples to that final destination at around 50 to 55%. So that's huge. If you know anything about click-through rates of media, that is very huge. And again, these are highly engaged, ready to take action shoppers. So that's Apples. And again, use it for multi-item solutions, regimen, driving awareness of new. That's really good. Or driving e-commerce, because again, clicking through at a much better rate and having a much higher quality shopper do that. I'll move on now to our next innovation, which is called Impulse. Impulse is all about delivering immediate action. So where Apples was about out of store driving to the store or to the online location, Impulse is really about driving at the store interaction. And so it is GPS location at the parking lot to drive a shopper into the store to buy the product. And we also leverage influencer-esque content to really get that whatever you think of, like an Instagram kind of feel to it, and get them to have that short message to say, this is something important, you should go in and get it. And then a call to action that says, go get it right now in the store. It really, again, goes to solving that problem of driving immediate action. A lot of high household penetration items this is good for. So say it's a cereal item that everybody knows. It's great for that because cereal can be something that you're walking up in the aisle and you're going, I'm not sure, maybe this or this. Well, if you've talked to them right before they walked into the store and reminded them to buy your product, then they might have in the back of their head, you know what, I need to pick up cereal and I'll pick up that item. So it really helps in that aspect. The shopper flow is very similar. So it is, we start with mobile app programmatic ads. So many people come to me and go, wait a minute, Josh, you mean to tell me that people come to the parking lot and actually, open up their phone and will click on ads? Absolutely do. And the reason I know is data for one, but I do it myself. If you, I'm sure most of us do. You get to the store and you go, oh, you know what? I wonder what the weather is, what it's going to be over the next couple of hours. And you open up your weather app and you'll see banner ads there. Or if you use a list making app for your grocery shopping and you're looking through that, you'll see ads there. And people are clicking on those when they see relevant content. So going back to the text thread that I gave you, there's something that says Expo. Click on that link and you'll see it'll pull up an example of this expo. And it should look like the one on your screen. And what it is this influencer sitting there telling you how much they love this product and why it's so special in a quick 6 to 10-second message. And then when you swipe up, it gives you that strong call to action of get it now. Again, driving that immediate impulse behavior at the store. What is really cool that we do is sometimes we combine these and we do that in a way to help take the shopper through the full journey. So we take Apple's out of store, and that's these yellow blinking lights here. We connect with the audience out of the store, tell them the full story of something, and then drive them to the store. And when they get to the store, retarget them. That'd be like the green dots, to give them that follow-up message to go, oh yeah, hey, don't forget, you need to get this. And then we also target new shoppers there. So it kind of acts as this 1-2 punch to make sure we're getting all the relevant shoppers that are in the area around the store that you want to drive sales at. And then we get them when they're out of the store, maybe at their home or office or somewhere else. And then when they get to the store as well. And so that's where we combine Apple's plus Impulse. And so I have an example of that also that I sent. And so it would be under the Apple's plus Impulse links. You can click on it. Now this example also showcases, if you click the first link, a regimen play where it talks about, or a multi-item solution where it talks about, this is your breakfast solution. And you can combine these products together to make this type of breakfast, these products together to make that type of breakfast, or those products. And that's the out of store message. Then if you click the next link down that I gave you, it combines to tell that message again when they get to the store. So the influencer says, hey, I just picked up these certain items and look at me, I've got the perfect breakfast sandwich solution here. And so again, it tells a small portion of that story there, but also even links back to the app list to allow shoppers to see the full story. So that works as a 1-2 punch. So those are Apples and Impulse. Again, very much so about media and very much so about driving people to the store to purchase the product. Our last innovation is really about that issue of, what do I do now that demos are dead? How am I supposed to take my items and really showcase them to an audience? And how do I drive sampling and first purchase in the store? Now, it's important to note, when I say sampling, there's two little, or let me rephrase that. When I say trial, there's two branches that can come off of the word trial. There's trial via sampling or trial via first purchase. As a shopper marketer, I've always believed trial via first purchase is always better, because that's getting somebody to take the action you want them to take, purchase the product, and then they're more likely to repeat. A trial via sample, which let's say in the food realm would be having somebody put the product in their mouth, well, they may or may not do it. So think about a traditional demo. When I go with my kids, they're the ones who go try all the products, not me. And then I'm like, oh, did you like it? They're like, sure. Do you want it? And so that's kind of the interaction that happens. And so your ability to get incremental first purchase out of that is very low, and it's very expensive too. So we wanted to create something totally new, something that would allow us to hyper target shoppers, the ones that you want to target, let them experience your product in a much better way. So a real exciting and friendly way from somebody that looks and seems like them, and then allow them to go make that first purchase into the store. And that's where Expo was born. It's the reimagination of traditional demos where we deliver that consumer engagement that leads right to the first purchase. And so it's really about, again, driving first purchase of a new or low performing item at the store. And I have two examples there because I want to show you kind of the end game for both. And they're both the same thing, but it shows you how it could be for different retailers. So the first link that you have, again, it's the last link in the Josh 3, the last two links. Click on the first one that has Publix on that. That was one that we actually ran, and it was a Javalia program for Publix. And what happens is, again, very much similar to the other ones, where it's hyper targeting the right audience, the relevant audience out of the store, and getting them to engage with this influencer content where they talk about the product and they say, this is what makes it so great. This is what I love about it. And it's really authentic feeling. And then when you swipe up, you see that it gives more information about the product that the brand would want to tell, the romance copy kind of stuff. And then it gives that big call to action to try it for free. Now for Publix, what that did, we worked with their loyalty platform, and we were able to, with our vendors' help, we have some vendors on the back end who help us with this, and we were able to get them to go enter in their information, which was their name and their phone number. And if they were a Publix account holder, it would automatically add a, for lack of a better term, like a value or a gift card to their account. So that when they went into the store, they could grab the item off the shelf, they could go scan it in the register and give the retailer their phone number for their loyalty card, and it would automatically reduce it by that amount. So it allowed a shopper to engage with the story that you wanted to tell. It allowed them to get excited about it, and then surprise and delight, go try it for free. And so that helps excite the shopper. It leads to more repeat purchase, and it also leads to, if you're a salesperson, that first purchase out of the store. And so that was such the innovation right there. And so that's the way it worked with Publix. For Walmart, it's a little bit different. We actually, with our partners, can do a digital barcode at the end. So it's that next link. You'll see it's all the same except for the end goal there. And when you try it for free, it gives you a barcode UPC that's good for one item only. So it can't be put out on the internet and used over and over and over. So it helps prevent from fraud. It's only good on the items that in UPCs that you choose. And then the shopper goes into Walmart, grabs the product, scans it through the register, and you can do it via self-checkout, or the cashier will scan that barcode and it will reduce it by that amount. Again, it's very much like all of our things that pay for performance. And the way this works is they have to go onto the platform, watch, open up the platform, and the video starts, and they have to at least swipe through 3 of the different cards or click the call to action button. And that's what we charge for that activation. As well, on the back end, we, like I was talking about, we work with the vendors to make that a free purchase. It could even be half off if that's what you preferred, but free purchase. And you are only charged for the ones that are actually done. So if, let's say, we all predicted that they would do it at a certain rate and it came into 50% of the rate, well, you're only paying for 50% of those redemptions from that side, and you're only paying for the activations that we get to. Again, just to reiterate the pay for performance model, you give us a budget. Let's just say, you said, Josh, I've got $100,000 for any of these programs. You give us a budget, and I'll tell you, okay, for that amount of money, for the targeting that you have, for everything involved, I can guarantee this many activations. And if we as a company only get to 80% of those activations, you only pay 80% of the budget. So that's what I mean by a guarantee, a pay per performance. Last thing I'll say on this, creative is a value add. So we have a fabulous creative team in-house. It's all a value add. We do report on the back end as well. So you can actually see, as the campaign goes, what the performance is. And so you're seeing the number of impressions, even though we don't charge for it, the number of activations that you're getting, which is what we're after and what we're charging for, and then the total number of clicks from that. And we also give information like the age, gender, geography, and we have interest groups that we showcase on the back end from who was engaging, and then obviously the other things that I just told you about. So that's a daily dashboard that you can go and track the performance as we go. That's my presentation. Those are what we do. Matt, were there any questions that came through that I can answer for anybody real quick? I know we're butting up against time.
Yeah, no, I don't see any questions, Josh. I think that's a sensational presentation. And, you and I share a shopper marketing background. My experience has really been more on the experiential side. And as you alluded before with demo programs, a lot of that has just dried up, and there's fewer and fewer opportunities to do what I would call that belly to belly interaction inside a store. And so
Absolutely.
what you're doing at Genesis, it really is incredible work. And I hope folks will take a close eye at your capabilities. Josh, share one more time for our audience, folks that are here with us live and the folks that will watch us later, your contact information, the best way to reach out to you and to Genesis.
Absolutely. You can reach me at jbruns@genesisx.com or 479-381-0480. That's my cell phone number. Call me at any time. Or what would be really easy, like I told you from early on, text the keyword Josh, Josh, to the number 31279, and it'll give you my contact information.
Yeah, good stuff. Josh, thank you so much again for making this time. Everyone, friend Josh Bruns from Genesis, and we'll see you again for the next go at Fest Pitch. Everybody go enjoy the day. Thank you.
Matt, thank you.